What's up? Welcome back to the channel, the only place on the internet where we're honest about the fact that we'd sell our own kidneys for a decent frame rate. Let's be real for a second. 2026 is here, and it looks like the year our social lives officially go to hell. If you're married, get a divorce now. If you have kids, put them up for adoption, because the open world games coming out this year are going to make you forget what the sun even looks like. I've dug through every leaked internal build and every shady forum post to bring you the absolute gods of open world gaming. So, grab a drink, stop touching yourself for 10 minutes, and let's get into the games that are going to dominate your pathetic life. Alright, let's kick things off with Capcom's latest attempt to make us shit our collective pants. Resident Evil Requiem is finally doing what we've been begging for since the 90s. A full, balls-to-the-wall, seamless, open world. No more loading door animations, no more invisible walls, and no more scripted safety. This isn't just a bigger map, it's a living, breathing nightmare set in a massive, decaying coastal region in Europe. Think of it like Resident Evil Village, but if the village was actually the size of a small country and everyone was on zombie crack. The story follows a new protagonist, but don't worry, Leon the Hare Kennedy is back to hold your hand and show you how to properly parry a chainsaw with a kitchen knife. The dynamic infection system is the real MVP here. If you clear out a fishing village and leave for 2 days, don't expect it to stay empty. The virus evolves in real time. Monsters will mutate, grow extra limbs, and start migrating toward your safe houses like they're looking for a free buffet. The AI uses a scent and sound system, so if you're bleeding and decide to fire off a shotgun, every freak within a 2-mile radius is going to come knocking. And let's talk about the Stalker AI. Remember Mr. X? He was a pussy compared to what's in Requiem. There's a persistent threat that hunts you across the entire map. He doesn't just teleport, he actually travels. You can see him in the distance with binoculars, lurking in the woods, just waiting for you to run out of herbs. It's running on a beefed-up RE engine that makes zombie skin textures look way too realistic. You can practically smell the rot through your monitor. It's brutal, it's gorgeous, and it's the most ambitious survival horror ever made. Just remember to pack extra diapers, because February 27th is going to be a messy day. Ubisoft finally realized that the only thing we actually liked about the last decade of Assassin's Creed was being a goddamn pirate. This isn't just a 4K texture pack. This is the entire Caribbean rebuilt in the newest Anvil engine with water physics that looks so good, they'll make you seasick. We're talking about waves that actually have weight, dynamic weather that can snap your masts in half if you're a shitty captain, and a seamless transition between sea and land. You play as Edward Kenway again, the only assassin who actually has a personality and spends more time drinking rum than talking about the Creed. The resynced part of the title means they've gutted the boring modern-day office simulator missions. Thank God. Now, it's 100% pirate action. You can dive off your ship, swim through a coral reef, sneak into a Spanish fort, kill everyone inside, and sail away without a single loading screen. They've added a fleet management system that's actually deep. You can capture any ship you see, customize its sails, cannons, and crew, and send them out to dominate the trade routes. The hand-to-hand combat has been borrowed from the newer RPG games, but it's been refined to be faster and bloodier. You can dual-wield pistols, use hidden blades, and swing from ropes like a total badass. The world is huge, covering Havana, Kingston, and dozens of tiny islands filled with treasure and legendary sea monsters that look absolutely terrifying in 4K. If you ever wanted to live your best pirate life without actually getting scurvy or smelling like old fish, this is the one. Just prepare to have sea shanties stuck in your head. It's coming this October, and it's going to be a masterpiece, assuming Ubisoft doesn't find a way to put a battle pass on the Jackdaw's sails. The Big Kahuna, the King, The literal reason why every other game developer on the planet is currently shitting their pants and moving their release dates to 2027. GTA 6 is finally coming, and it's taking us back to Leonida, Rockstar's version of Florida, which, let's be honest, is already a real-life GTA server. The level of detail here is borderline psychotic. We're talking about an AI system where every single NPC has a life. You can follow a random guy from his job at a strip mall to his shitty apartment, and he'll actually have a schedule. He eats, he sleeps, he gets into road rage incidents. He's more productive than most of us. The map is reportedly double the size of Los Santos, but it's the density that's the real flex. Rockstar claims that over 70% of the buildings in downtown Vice City have full interiors, where you can walk into bars, pharmacies, laundromats, and strip clubs, and they all feel unique. The story follows Lucia and Jason, a Bonnie and Clyde duo that is probably going to make us feel more emotions than we bargained for. But who cares about feelings when you have the Florida Man dynamic event system? You'll see NPCs filming crazy stunts for the in-game TikTok clone, getting chased by alligators, or having meth-fueled standoffs with the cops. The social media integration is huge. Your phone isn't just a menu, it's a tool. You can find illegal street races through Snapmatic, track targets, or just browse the internet for hours laughing at Rockstar's parody of modern-day America. The driving physics have been overhauled to feel more like Midnight Club, and the gore system? Man, it's brutal. If you shoot someone with a shotgun, it's not just a red puff, it's a crime scene. This game is going to break the internet, break sales records, and probably break your marriage because you'll be too busy running a drug empire to remember your anniversary. It drops May 26th, and if you haven't booked your sick leave yet, you're doing it wrong. Pack your bags. We are finally going to Japan. For 10 years, the Horizon community has been screaming for this, and Playground Games finally stopped being teases and gave us what we wanted. Forza Horizon 6 is set in a massive, hyper-detailed recreation of Japan, covering everything from the neon-drenched skyscrapers of Shinjuku and Shibuya to the misty, winding mountain passes of Hakone. This is the first Forza built exclusively for current-gen hardware, and the lighting is so realistic, it'll make your real-life car look like a pile of scrap metal. The big focus this time around is car culture. It's not just about winning races, it's about the scene. They've introduced walkable social hubs, massive car meets where you can actually get out of your car, walk around, show off your character's drip, and look under the hoods of other players' rides. The customization has gone full Need for Speed with thousands of licensed parts and a livery editor that's easier to use but deeper than ever. But the real star is the nightlife system. When the sun goes down, the vibe of the entire map changes. Underground drift events appear in multi-story parking garages, and the city becomes a neon playground. The drift physics have been completely redone. If you want to channel your inner Han from Tokyo Drift, the mountain passes are your new home. There's a Togue mode specifically for downhill battles that'll test your skills and your patience. The dynamic seasons are back too. Spring brings cherry blossoms that fly across the road as you drive, and summer brings monsoons that turn the streets into rivers. It's car porn in 4K at 60 frames per second, and it's the most beautiful racing game ever made. If you don't spend at least 50 hours just choosing the right exhaust note for your Supra, are you even a racing fan? See you in Tokyo on May 19th. Playground Games is taking a break from Ferraris to give us the most sarcastic, foul-mouthed, and British RPG ever made. The Fable reboot is finally here, and it looks like it kept the soul of the original games while giving it a massive Unreal Engine 5 facelift. This is Albion, a land of heroes, villains, and people who are weirdly obsessed with kicking chickens. The big selling point? Total reactivity. The world is a literal mirror of your choices. If you spend your time being a saint, you'll grow a halo, and birds will sing as you walk. If you're a total dick, you'll grow horns. Your skin will turn gray, and people will literally lock their doors and hide their kids when they see you coming. The humor is pitch black, We're talking about quests where you have to save a village from a giant, man-eating turnip or help a cult that worships a very confused cow. Everything in the open world is interactive. You can buy any house you see, rent it out to NPCs, and become a slumlord. Or you can get married, start a family, and then abandon them to go find a legendary sword. Classic Fable. The combat is a mix of fluid swordplay, sneaky archery, and will powers that let you blast enemies off cliffs or turn them into literal pumpkins. But the real shocker, Microsoft is finally sharing the weed. Fable is officially coming to the PlayStation 5 on day one as part of their new Play Everywhere strategy. So now, everyone can enjoy the glory of being a legendary hero who also happens to have a serious pie addiction. The world is huge, colorful, and filled with secrets that'll take you months to find. It's the ultimate life simulator in a fantasy setting, and it's the most fun you can have with a sword and a sarcastic narrator. It drops this September, so start practicing your chicken kicking now. Alright, let's talk about the game that's trying to be the high-budget baby of Genshin Impact and Sea of Thieves. Sea of Remnants is an oceanic open-world RPG that basically says, hey, remember how boring Skull and Bones was? Yeah, let's not do that. You play as a survivor in a world that's 90% water and 10% floating islands, and your goal is to build a floating fortress that would make a Bond villain jealous. This isn't just about sailing, it's about ship life. You start with a tiny, pathetic raft that looks like it was built from IKEA scraps, and you eventually upgrade to a massive dreadnought with a full crew of over 300 different recruitable companions. The open world is built around a mechanic called the Great Tide. Every few in-game weeks, a massive, world-altering storm reshapes the map. It uncovers sunken ruins from an ancient civilization and buries old ones. This means the map you're looking at today might be completely different tomorrow. You can be a merchant trading rare spices, a pirate raiding other players, or a monster hunter looking for kaiju-sized sea beasts that are literally the size of skyscrapers. The combat is fast, colorful, and feels like a high-octane anime fight. You can jump from your deck, glide through the air, and smash a giant hammer into a sea serpent's face. It's free to play, so yeah, expect some grind. But the production value is insane. If you like the idea of living on the water and building a crew of waifus and warriors, this is your new addiction. Just don't blame me when you haven't seen dry land in 3 months. Next up is the rebirth of a legend. ArcheAge Chronicles isn't just a sequel, it's a total reimagining of what an mmorpg should be in 2026. They've ditched the old-school, boring, click-and-wait combat and replaced it with a high-stakes, Souls-like action system. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the world is focused on pioneer life. You aren't just a hero, you're a settler in a world that is actively trying to kill you. The big selling point? The economy is 100% player-driven and physical. If you want to build a house, you can't just click a button. You have to physically transport the lumber across the map on a wagon or a ship. And guess what? Every other player on the server can see you doing it. This creates a world where trade runs are a high-risk, high-reward game of cat and mouse. You'll have to hire bodyguards or join a massive guild just to move some rocks from point A to point B. One week, a trade route might be safe and peaceful, and the next week, it's a goddamn war zone because 2 guilds decided they wanted to tax everyone passing through. The housing system is also much better now. You can build anywhere, and your house actually matters. You can farm, craft, and defend your land from wandering monsters or jealous neighbors. It's a huge, gorgeous fantasy world where you can truly live a second life, assuming you don't mind getting stabbed in the back by a friend for a crate of silk. It's a hardcore social experiment disguised as a game, and I am here for it. Team Ninja is finally taking the training wheels off and giving us a full, seamless, open-world samurai game. Nioh 3 takes everything we loved and hated about the first 2 games and throws it into a massive, demon-infested recreation of feudal Japan. Forget the mission select screen. You are now traversing a war-torn landscape where every temple, forest, and burning castle is connected. The combat is still as fast and brutal as ever, but they've added a spirit animal system that completely changes how you explore. You can ride a spectral wolf across plains, or turn into a crow demon to fly over gaps that would normally be a death trap. The stance system is back, but now it's interactive with the environment. If you're fighting in a knee-deep river, your water-based stances get a huge buff. If you're in a dry forest, you can use fire stances to literally set the grass on fire and trap your enemies in a ring of flames. The bosses are, of course, absolutely nightmare-inducing. We're talking about mountain-sized yokai that will kill you in one hit and then probably mock your dead body. But the coolest part is the yokai possession. After you kill a boss, you can temporarily wear its power, not just for combat, but to unlock new parts of the open world. It's like Metroidvania meets Elden Ring, but with way more katanas and rage quitting. Prepare your wallet and your mental health, because this one is going to be a beautiful nightmare. CD Projekt Red is finally moving on from Geralt, and honestly, the old man deserved a nap and a bath. The Witcher 4 is the start of a brand new saga, and it's being built on Unreal Engine 5. We're following a new Witcher from the School of the Lynx, which sounds cool, and also implies we're probably going to be way more agile and sneaky than Geralt ever was. The open world is moving away from the Ubisoft style of map markers. Thank the gods. No more icons cluttering up the screen like a bad case of digital acne. Instead, the game uses organic investigation. You won't see a marker telling you where a monster is. Instead, you might see a flock of carrion birds circling a clearing in the distance, or you'll find a mutilated cow in a field and have to use your Witcher senses to track the blood to a nearby cave. It makes you feel like an actual hunter, not just a guy following a GPS. The first major region we know about is Kovir, a cold, snowy kingdom filled with political backstabbing and monsters that actually look like they belong in a horror movie. Ciri is confirmed to be in the game, and the story is reportedly much darker and more personal than Wild Hunt. It's a slower, smarter, and much more atmospheric world that respects your intelligence. Just don't expect it to be a walk in the park. Witchers don't die in their beds for a reason. Don't let the bricks fool you, because Traveler's Tales has finally stopped playing it safe. Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight is a massive, open-world Gotham that is basically a love letter to everyone who grew up with the Caped Crusader. This isn't just a kid's game. It's a sprawling, Unreal Engine 5 masterpiece that covers Batman's entire 86-year history. We're talking about a map that includes everything from the grimy alleys of Crime Alley to the high-tech halls of Wayne Tower and the nightmare fuel of Arkham Asylum. The level of detail in Gotham is actually insane. The bricks look so real, you'll want to reach out and snap them together, and the lighting is dark, moody, and perfectly atmospheric. The big gimmick here is timeline hopping. You aren't stuck with just one Batman. You can play through iconic eras, from the campy, bright 1966 Adam West version to the dark, rainy I'm Vengeance world of the 2022 Pattinson movie. Each era doesn't just change your suit, it changes the entire look of the city, the vehicles on the street, and even the tone of the NPCs. You can fly the Batwing, drive the Tumbler, or ride the classic 60s Batmobile through a seamless Gotham. The combat has been overhauled too. It's inspired by the Arkham games, so expect fluid combos, gadgets, and takedowns that look surprisingly brutal for a world made of plastic. With over 200 characters, including deep cuts from the comics that only the truest nerds will recognize, this is the ultimate DC sandbox. You can play as the entire Bat family, and yes, the villains are just as fun. Want to play as a Lego version of Bane and break someone's back? You can do that. It drops on May 29th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. If you're a Batman fan and you skip this because it looks childish, you're literally missing out on the best Batman game since Arkham Knight. Alright, let's talk about the man who drinks more martinis than water and still manages to save the world without messing up his hair. IO Interactive, the geniuses who gave us the Hitman series, are finally taking a crack at James Bond, and honestly, it's about damn time. 007. First Light isn't just a generic shooter with a licensed face. This is an origin story where you play as a young, hungry, and slightly more violent Bond who just earned his 00 status. And since this is the guys who made Agent 47, you know the open world here is going to be something special. We're not talking about one big empty desert. We're talking about several massive, hyper-detailed sandbox hubs. Imagine a chunk of London, a sprawling villa in Istanbul, or a luxury ski resort in the Swiss Alps that is completely open for you to play with. Each location is a playground for a sociopath in a tuxedo. You can approach your objectives however the hell you want. Feel like going full John Wick and turning the front lobby into a pile of brass and bodies? You can do it, but good luck dealing with the elite reinforcements that'll swarm you in 30 seconds. The real magic happens when you play it like a spy. The social engineering system is insane. You can steal a tuxedo from a laundry van, poison the villain's favorite vintage wine, or bug a conversation using a high-tech drone disguised as a fly. The world is incredibly reactive. If you kill a high-ranking guard, the security patterns change, and the remaining guards get paranoid, checking every shadow. And yes, since it's Bond, the cars are a huge deal. You've got the iconic Aston Martin, and it's not just for show. There are full-on high-speed chase sequences across these open maps where you can use gadgets like oil slicks, EMPs, and front-mounted machine guns to ruin a henchman's day. IO Interactive is bringing their Glacier engine to its absolute limit here. The crowds look real, the lighting is cinematic as hell, and the kill animations are satisfyingly brutal. It's the ultimate spy fantasy. 1 minute you're playing a high-stakes game of Baccarat to gather intel, and the next you're jumping off a bridge with a parachute to escape a burning fortress. If you've been waiting for a Bond game that actually treats you like an adult and lets you use your brain instead of just your trigger finger, First Light is going to be your new religion. It drops on May 27th, so start practicing your shaken, not stirred order now. If you want to talk about a game that looks like it was sent back from the future to make our current GPS melt, we have to talk about Crimson Desert. Pearl Abyss has spent years cooking this thing in their proprietary Black Space engine, and the result is a gritty, medieval fantasy open world called Pywell that looks almost too good to be true. You play as Cliff, a weary mercenary leader who's just trying to survive in a world filled with warring factions, mythical beasts, and arcane bullshit that would make Geralt of Rivia say, "Nope, I'm out." The combat is where this game really separates the men from the boys. It's a violent, high-octane mix of swordplay, magic, and pro wrestling? Yeah, you heard me. You can slash a dude with a broadsword, then grab him and deliver a perfect German suplex off a stone castle wall. The physics are insane. You can climb giant mechanical dragons, use environmental hazards to crush your enemies, and the blood splatter is, well, let's just say they didn't hold back on the red stuff. But Pywell isn't just for fighting. The open world is filled with things to do like fishing, hunting, horse taming, and even arm wrestling in local taverns. The weather system actually affects the gameplay. If a blizzard hits, you'll start freezing and moving slower, and your horse might even refuse to run. The continent is seamless, with no loading screens between exploring a dark forest and walking into a massive, buzzing capital city. It's a single-player epic that feels like a hardcore version of Dragon's Dogma, mixed with the cinematic flair of a Michael Bay movie. It officially drops on March 19th, and you better pray your PC can handle it, because this game is going to push hardware to its absolute limit. For the psychos who think Mordhau and Chivalry were too easy, let me introduce you to Mortem. Developed by Head-On Studios, this is a brutal, multiplayer medieval melee slasher set in the absolute shithole world of Contrara. You play as a vessel, basically a hollowed-out soul that can't die, stuck in an endless loop of killing and being killed. This isn't just a swing your sword and hope for the best kind of game. It's a skill-based nightmare where your footwork, timing, and angle of attack are the only things keeping your head on your shoulders. The open world is a dark, gore-filled sandbox where two warring factions, the Palisadian and the Huntry, are constantly tearing each other apart. You can join the front lines in massive PvP battles, or go on co-op dungeon crawls where you descend into the domains of dead gods to loot their gear. The sanity mechanic is what makes the PvE terrifying. The longer you stay in the darkness, the more your character starts losing their mind, leading to hallucinations and debuffs that will get you killed fast. The combat is visceral. We're talking about real-time swings that can lop off limbs and crush skulls with satisfyingly gross sound effects. You can play in first or third person, and the customization is deep. You can kit out your vessel in rare, elite armor that actually makes you look like the terrifying god slayer you are. If you want a game that respects your skill and punishes your mistakes with a mace to the face, Mortem is the one to wishlist. It's coming to Steam Early Access soon, and it's going to be a bloodbath. If Baldur's Gate 3 was the main course, Solasta 2 is the massive, extra spicy dessert you didn't know you needed. Tactical Adventures is back with a sequel that takes the 5e Dungeons & Dragons rulebook and polishes it to a mirror finish. Set decades after the first game, you lead a party of 4 new heroes to the distant, unexplored land of Nioh. This isn't just a series of combat encounters, it's a grand, party-based RPG where your dialogue choices and the roll of the dice actually shape the world around you. The open world of Nioh is much more expansive this time, focusing on exploration and verticality. You can't just walk everywhere, you'll need to fly, climb, and teleport your way through ruins and mountain peaks. The combat is the star. It's turn-based, tactical, and uses the environment in ways that would make a DM proud. You can drop bridges on orcs, use light to weaken vampires, or push a boulder down a hill to wipe out an entire squad of goblins. They've also brought in some heavy hitters for the voice cast, including Amelia Taylor and Devora Wild from Baldur's Gate 3 and Ben Starr from Final Fantasy XVI. The production value has seen a massive jump with better animations and a much more open feel to the world map. If you love deep, crunchy RPG mechanics and a story that actually cares about your party's background, Solasta 2 is going to be your new 100-hour obsession. It enters Steam Early Access on March 12th, and I'm already rolling for initiative. Finally, we have the game that is basically the holy grail for old-school RPG fans. The Wayward Realms is being made by Ted Peterson and Julian LeFay, the guys who literally invented the Elder Scrolls. They're calling it a grand RPG, and they aren't kidding. The map is set in the Archipelago, a collection of over 100 islands that is procedurally generated to be the size of a real-life country. We're talking about 500,000 square kilometers of forests, swamps, mountains, and cities filled with thousands of NPCs. The goal here is to bring back that Daggerfall feeling, where the world is so big you can actually get lost in it. But it's not just big, it's smart. A virtual game master watches everything you do and reacts in real time. If you kill a local merchant, his brother might hire an assassin, or a rival faction might use the chaos to take over the shop. No two players will have the same experience because the world constantly evolves based on your choices and political backstabbing. The role-playing is deep. You don't pick a class, you build one from scratch. You can craft your own spells, brew custom potions, and join factions that have their own generational plots. It's built on Unreal Engine 5, so despite the massive scale, it actually looks modern. This is a game for the people who are tired of theme park open worlds, where everything is marked on a map. It's for the wanderers, the explorers, and the true role players. It's aiming for a Steam Early Access release in early 2026, and if they pull this off, it might just be the most ambitious RPG ever made.